Most people think the only way to make more money is to trade more of their time for it. But here's the cold, hard truth. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will literally work until the day you die. Think about it. While you're sleeping, your rent is due, your car payment is accruing interest, and inflation is eating your savings. You are losing money 24/7. So why aren't you earning it 24/7? The wealthiest people in the world don't have jobs in the traditional sense. They own assets. Systems that work, sell, and grow, even when they're thousands of miles away on a beach. Today, I'm revealing the 5 specific assets that act like your personal employees, working through the night so you don't have to. My name is Lewis, and I spend way too much time thinking about passive income, wealth building, and why most people stay broke despite working harder than ever. If you're someone who feels like you're constantly trading your time for money and never getting ahead, no matter how many hours you put in, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Let's get into these 5 assets, and I'm ranking them from most accessible to most advanced, because I think that actually matters more than people realize.
I know, you're already rolling your eyes. Luis, a savings account isn't going to make me rich. And look, you're not wrong if we're talking about a traditional savings account at a big bank paying you 0.01% interest. That's not an asset. That's an insult. But here's what most people don't realize. High-yield savings accounts and money market funds are paying significantly more competitive rates in today's environment than what most people are used to. And the reason this is asset number 1 on my list isn't because it's going to make you wealthy on its own. It's because it solves the number 1 problem that keeps people from building wealth in the first place.
Emergency expenses. According to a Federal Reserve survey, roughly 37% of Americans said they would struggle to cover an unexpected $400 expense. $400! That's a car repair. That's one urgent care visit. And when that expense hits and you don't have cash available, what happens? You put it on a credit card at 24% interest. Or worse, you pull money out of your investments at the worst possible time. So here's the actionable step. Before you do anything else I mentioned in this video, park at least $1,000 to $2,000 in a high-yield savings account. Think of it as buying yourself the ability to take risks. Because you can't build wealth if every minor emergency sends you into debt. This is your foundation. It's boring, I get it, but it's the asset that protects every other asset on this list. Asset number 2 is where things start to get interesting. And this is probably the single most powerful wealth-building tool available to a regular person. Index funds. Here's the thing about index funds. They let you own a tiny piece of hundreds or even thousands of companies, all at once. When you buy a total stock market index fund, you're essentially saying, I believe the overall economy will grow over time. And historically, that has been an extraordinarily good bet. Let me give you some numbers that should genuinely change how you think about this. If you invested $300 a month into an S&P 500 index fund starting at age 25, and you averaged the historical return of roughly 10% annually before inflation, by age 55, you'd have approximately $680,000. You contributed about $108,000 of your own money. The other $572,000, that was your money making money. You generated more than $500,000 while doing literally nothing except not touching the account. Now you might be thinking, $300 a month? I don't have $300 a month. Okay, start with $50. Start with $25. The amount matters way less than the habit. A Vanguard study found that the single biggest predictor of long-term investment success wasn't which funds people picked or when they started. It was whether they set up automatic contributions. People who automated their investing were dramatically more likely to stay invested through market downturns. This is a psychological game. Automation removes the decision, and when you remove the decision, you remove the opportunity to make the wrong one. Open a brokerage account. Set up automatic investing into a broad index fund. And then, this is the hard part. Ignore it for decades.
Asset number 3 is dividend-paying stocks and ETFs. And this is where the making money while you sleep concept becomes very literal, because these assets pay you cash just for owning them. Think of it like this. Imagine you owned a small bakery and you hired a manager to run it. Every quarter, that manager hands you a check, your share of the profits. You didn't bake anything, you didn't open the store, you just own it. That's what a dividend is. You own a tiny piece of a company, and that company sends you a portion of its profits regularly.
This is where it gets really interesting. There's a category of companies called dividend aristocrats, which are S&P 500 companies that have increased their dividend payments every single year for at least 25 consecutive years. Think about what that means. Through recessions, financial crises, and a global pandemic, these companies kept paying their shareholders more money every year. Companies like Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, Coca-Cola. These aren't speculative bets. These are economic machines.
Let me give you some real math. If you built a $20,000 portfolio of dividend ETFs yielding an average of 3.5%, you'd receive about $700 per year in dividend income. Reinvest those dividends and keep adding to the portfolio, and within 10 to 15 years, you could realistically be generating $3,000 to $5,000 per year in purely passive dividend income. That's a car payment being covered by assets you own. That's your electric bill paid every single month by companies you hold in a brokerage account.
The actionable step here? Look into ETFs like SCHD, VYM, or DGRO. These give you exposure to dozens of quality dividend-paying companies in a single purchase. Start stacking shares and turn on the dividend reinvestment feature. Let the snowball build.
Okay, asset number 4 is one that most traditional finance people completely ignore, and I think that's a mistake. I'm talking about digital assets and intellectual property. Here's what I mean by this. An ebook, an online course, a set of design templates, a YouTube channel, a mobile app. These are things you create once, or sometimes over a period of weeks or months, and then they can generate income repeatedly without you recreating the work. Look, I'm not going to stand here and pretend that creating a digital product is easy. It's not. But here's the thing that separates this asset from almost everything else on this list. The barrier to entry is almost purely your time and effort. You don't need $20,000. You don't need a broker. You need a laptop and a skill that someone else finds valuable. And the economics of digital products are genuinely absurd when you think about them. Let's say you spend 200 hours creating an online course on something you're deeply knowledgeable about. You price it at $49. You sell it on a platform like Gumroad, Udemy, or your own website. If that course sells just 5 copies a week, not 500, 5, that's $245 a week. That's roughly $12,700 a year from something you built once, while you sleep, while you're at your day job, while you're living your life. People are buying that thing and money is entering your account. Now, you might be thinking, I don't have any skills worth selling. And I want to push back on that pretty directly. Do you know how to do something that someone 5 years behind you in life doesn't know yet? Congratulations, you have a teachable skill. Can you organize information clearly? Can you design a spreadsheet that solves a real problem?
Can you thoroughly explain a complicated topic? That's intellectual property waiting to happen. The actionable step? Identify one skill or knowledge area where you're ahead of the average person. Spend the next 90 days turning that into a digital product, even a small one, even a $19 ebook. Get it out into the world and let it start working for you. Asset number 5, real estate. But before you click away because you think I'm about to tell you to save up $60,000 for a down payment on a rental property, hold on. I'm not going that route. Here's what most people don't realize about real estate investing in today's landscape. You don't need to own a physical building to profit from real estate. REITs, real estate investment trusts, let you invest in real estate the same way you'd invest in stocks. You buy shares. The REIT owns and operates properties, apartment buildings, shopping centers, warehouses, data centers, and by law, they have to distribute at least 90% of their taxable income to shareholders. That means big, consistent dividend payments. This is where it gets really interesting from a diversification standpoint. Real estate doesn't always move in the same direction as the stock market. When you add REITs to a portfolio of index funds and dividend stocks, you're creating income streams that come from fundamentally different sources. If the stock market has a rough year, your real estate holdings might hold steady or even appreciate. You're not putting all your eggs in one basket, and you're not putting all your income on one calendar. Let me throw some numbers at you. The Vanguard Real Estate ETF, ticker VNQ, has historically provided yields in the range of 3% to 4%, along with potential for price appreciation. If you allocated $5,000 of your portfolio to VNQ, you'd collect roughly $150 to $200 a year in distributions, and those distributions tend to grow over time as the underlying properties increase in value and raise rents. The actionable step? Allocate a portion, even 10 to 15% of your investment portfolio to a diversified REIT ETF. This gives you real estate exposure without the headaches of being a landlord, without the massive down payment, and without the 2 a.m. phone call about a broken water heater. Now, here's what ties all 5 of these together, and this is honestly the most important part of the entire video. Every single one of these assets has one thing in common. They reward patience and punish impatience. That's it. That's the secret. No asset on this list works if you panic sell during a downturn, withdraw your dividends before they've had time to compound, or abandon your digital product after 2 weeks because it only made $12. A study published in the Journal of Financial Planning found that investors who checked their portfolio daily were significantly more likely to make emotional, short-term trades than investors who checked monthly or quarterly. The more you look, the more you react. And the more you react, the more you lose. Building wealth while you sleep literally requires you to stop watching and start trusting the process. So let me bring this full circle. Remember that Sunday night anxiety? That ceiling staring, calculator in your head, am I ever going to get ahead feeling? The 5 assets I just walked you through are the antidote. Not tomorrow, not magically, but over the next 1, 3, 5, 10 years, these assets compound. They stack on top of each other. They build momentum that your paycheck alone could never create. You don't need all 5 right now. Pick one, the one that fits where you are today. If you have no emergency fund, start with asset 1. If you've got some savings and you're ready to invest, open a brokerage account tonight and set up automatic contributions into an index fund. Just start. The gap between where you are and where you want to be isn't closed by thinking about it. It's closed by one small action, followed by another, followed by another. If this video gave you even one idea you didn't have before, hit that subscribe button. I drop videos every week breaking down how real people build real wealth without the hype, without the gimmicks, and without needing to already be rich to get started. Drop a comment and tell me which of these 5 assets you're going to focus on first. I read every single one, and I'll see you in the next video.